Nethos Nightwhisper is an enigmatic figure who casts an imposing silhouette against the backdrop of the material and the shadow plane. Tall and majestic, he seems to materialize from the merging of moonlight and shadows. His most striking feature is his eyes, a captivating yellow that shines with an inner light, mirroring the unwavering resilience of the moon against the encroaching darkness. His hair, rivaling the pristine winter snow under a lustrous silver moon, dances subtly to the rhythm of the night wind's gentle sighs. This spectral cascade contrasts strikingly against his dark attire, enhancing the spectral allure that defines his persona. His skin carries a unique hue of gray, an exotic shade that sets him further apart from the ordinary. This alien pallor bestows upon him an otherworldly presence, befitting for someone who treads the delicate boundary between two planes of existence. Nethos's lean yet muscular build bears testament to his years spent navigating the treacherous terrains of both realms. Every movement he makes, be it drawing his bow or disappearing into the comforting embrace of the shadows, is executed with an uncanny blend of grace and deadly precision. His personality, though shrouded in mystery, betrays an indomitable spirit of protection. His quiet demeanor might come across as distant, but those lucky enough to know him understand the deep-seated desire to protect the innocent that fuels his actions. To the helpless, he represents hope, and to the wicked, he embodies their deepest fears. Nethos, while shrouded in mystery and intertwined with the darkness of the night, stands as a sentinel at the boundary of light and darkness, tirelessly navigating the challenging terrain of both the material and the shadow plane. His very existence is a testament to courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering dedication to safeguard the innocent, providing hope that even in the deepest shadows, a beacon of light can emerge to challenge the darkness. Backstory. In his younger days, he stalked the twilight labyrinth of the shadow plane, a realm that mirrors the material plane in its eerie gloom, hunting its nocturnal creatures with an unerring precision. He was a silent observer, a witness to the multitude of possibilities that the shadow plane held within its somber folds, unveiling the untold stories etched in its eternal dusk. The shadow plane, a spectral reflection of Golarion, ripples with uncanny possibilities, each echoing a divergent thread of reality. Where a benevolent king governs in the material plane, a cruel tyrant might hold sway in its shadowy counterpart. A hamlet ravaged by war in one world might flourish in peaceful prosperity in the other. Braving the perils of the shadow plane, he bore witness to these alternative narratives, unspooling the threads of intricate plots and revealing hidden malevolence that would otherwise lurk undiscovered. While the future remained an enigma, the past laid itself bare in its diverse complexity, gifting him a profound understanding of the world's complex weave. He utilized his skills as a ranger, hunting creatures for both livelihood and for the protection of Golarion's denizens. He discovered that the most malevolent creatures were not necessarily the ones lurking outside the fortified city walls, but they could be found lurking in the hearts of seemingly ordinary mortals. A beast terrorizing a village's outskirts could be more straightforward to hunt than a seemingly benign mayor who, under the cloak of night, morphed into a sadistic tormentor preying on the hapless commoners wandering the streets. His experiences in the eerie realms of the shadow plane and in the seemingly safe corners of Golarion reshaped his perception of heroism and villainy. The true essence of both, he learned, rarely lay in the grand battles or the monstrous adversaries, but in the smaller, unseen spaces of the world, where decisions were made, alliances were struck, and where goodness or malevolence could quietly flourish. He had observed a kingdom ruled by a benevolent monarch, a king who guided his realm with a spirit of fairness, attentiveness, and genuine concern for his subjects. It was a stark contrast to the same kingdom in the material plane, where a tyrant held the reins. The tyrant king, the rightful ruler's brother, ruled with cold ruthlessness, his heart hardened against the pleas of his people. He had cast his own brother into the castle's deepest, darkest dungeon, leaving him to languish forgotten and forsaken. For the sake of righteousness, for the welfare of a kingdom caught in the grasp of tyranny, Nethos acted. Moving as a phantom through the shadows, he personified the silent, lethal grace of a seasoned assassin. Drawing upon his unparalleled skills as a ranger, he loosed an arrow, unseen as the whispers of the wind, that traced a perfect arc in the air before embedding itself into the heart of the tyrant king, a feat that would leave the most skilled archers in awe. The silent executioner had claimed his due. His decisive act shattered the chains of injustice that had ensnared the rightful king, freeing him from his grim confinement. As the kingdom reeled from the sudden turn of events, he quietly retreated into the shadows from whence he came, leaving behind a kingdom on the precipice of profound change. It was his fervent hope that this act of justice would steer the kingdom towards a future akin to the peaceful, prosperous reality he had witnessed in the Shadow Plane. A reality where the common folk could live their lives in safety and prosperity under the rule of a truly benevolent king. As Nethos navigated the murky twilight of the Shadow Plane, a chilling tableau abruptly shimmered into existence before him. Wails of despair echoed in the spectral stillness, phantasmal images flickering in agonized spasms, their silent screams painting a gruesome narrative of unsuspecting travelers, lured to their gruesome demise under the pretense of safety. Driven by the urgency of these apparitions, he sought out the corresponding site in the material plane, a worn path stretching from the bustling capital city of Almas in Andorran to the central city of Origant. Daylight found him diligently scouring the road, searching for any signs that might shed light on the phantom menace. The well-trodden path bore traces of numerous travelers, footprints of both humanoid and beasts, hoofprints of horses, the delicate paw marks of canines, yet none bore the sinister hallmark of the typical predators known to stalk the unwary. Furthermore, local reports from neighboring settlements yielded no accounts of missing persons or unexplained disappearances, deepening the enigma. It was as if the road was simply an ordinary stretch of traveled dirt and stone, its dangerous secret carefully concealed from the casual observer. The spectral tableau that had unraveled in the Shadow Plane seemed to have no echo in the material world. The sun's descent painted the sky in hues of twilight, plunging the road into a world of shadows and starlight. He became one with this nocturnal scene, blending seamlessly into the darkness as he silently traversed the now hushed road. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of twig, every whisper of wind was a clue, an echo in the quiet of the night. It was not long before a figure emerged from the distant gloom, a lone man draped in a cloak, making his way down the path, away from the city of Almas. He scrutinized him from his hidden vantage point, yet found nothing particularly amiss. The man appeared as any other traveler might on such a road, shrouded in anonymity beneath the cloak, his intentions inscrutable in the soft pallor of the moonlight. Unsatisfied, Nethos quickened his pace, slipping like a shadow further down the path. The night was young, and the road's secrets were yet to be unveiled. He was determined to uncover the hidden menace that haunted this seemingly innocent path, even if he had to track every soul that set foot on its worn stones. Further along the winding path, a family of 3, weary from their journey from Galt, aspired to reach Almas before darkness enveloped the land. Now they found themselves navigating the treacherous night with only the meager illumination of a small torch. The group consisted of a woman and her 2 children, the youngest, a toddler barely 2 years old, and his elder brother, on the cusp of 17. As if fortune finally decided to smile on them, the dim light of 3 torches appeared in the distance, growing brighter as they approached. The sources of the light came into view, 3 men, 1 mounted and 2 on foot. They were the Eagle Knights of Andorran, patrolling the lonely road. Upon reaching the family, they offered assistance. The mother explained their flight from Galt and their desperate hope to find refuge in Almas. Moved by their story, the knights vowed to escort them to the city gates. Having journeyed some distance together, the mounted knight stepped down from his horse, securing his torch to his steed. He suggested a detour, assuring them that it would expedite their arrival at Almas. It was along this veering path that fate cast its cruel hand. Without warning, one knight brandished his sword, ruthlessly plunging it into the elder boy's abdomen, slicing up and twisting the blade within his gut. The boy crumpled to the ground, cries for his mother dwindling as his life drained away. As the knights shared malicious glances and sinister smiles, they advanced towards the mother. she started to desperately plead, offering herself in exchange for her son's life. Her pleas were abruptly silenced by the deadly hiss of 2 arrows launched from the shadows. They found their marks in the necks of 2 knights, felling them instantly. The suddenness of their demise startled the horse, which bolted into the darkness. The surviving knight, dumbfounded, drew his sword, the only illumination now being the glow of 2 abandoned torches and the celestial light of distant stars. "Show yourself, you coward!" he bellowed in anger. His challenge was answered by 2 more arrows, one embedded in his left shoulder, the other in his right thigh, thus sealing his fate. As the wounded knight scanned the shadows desperately, his gaze found nothing. Suddenly, before he could comprehend, Nethos emerged, his blade slicing through the air, and in one swift motion, beheaded the final knight. An eerie silence cloaked the night. The mother, stricken with grief, hurried over to her boy lying on the ground, his breathing faint, his body growing chillingly cold as death began to stake its claim. The snapping of a twig in the distance echoed in the silent night, and in an instant Nethos had his bow poised, ready to respond to the unseen threat. Out of the darkness the wayward horse returned, guided by the traveler he had noticed earlier. As they drew nearer, the feeble light from the torches illuminated the traveler's face. Their eyes met, instilling a sense of tranquility within him, causing him to lower his bow. The traveler explained that he had spotted the horse fleeing and felt compelled to guide it back to its rightful owner. The woman's voice broke through their conversation, filled with desperation. "Please help my son, I can't afford to lose him." Nethos turned to the traveler, his expression one of sorrow. The traveler reassured her, "Fear not, it is but a flesh wound. I will tend to it immediately." The woman looked on anxiously as the old man attended to her son's wound. She raised her head to express her gratitude towards Nethos, only to find that he had faded back into the shadows, blending with the surrounding darkness. As he distanced himself, the faint sound of the traveler's voice reached him. "There, you see, there was never a reason to fear." What was initially a scene of despair and sorrow transformed into a tableau of joy, and gratitude filled the nocturnal air. As he seamlessly merged back into the nurturing obscurity of the night, the resounding symphony of joy and relief from the scene he'd just salvaged lingered in his ears. He took a moment to contemplate. His life's experiences had already taught him, but tonight's events served as a stern reaffirmation. The twin realms of existence were equally vulnerable to the relentless encroachment of evil. Light and shadow. They were inseparable entities, 2 facets of the same existential coin. This realization was the drive behind his actions. It was the reason he ventured to put his life on the line, patrolling the perilous boundary between the material and the shadow plane. He had taken it upon himself to be a guardian for the defenseless against the malevolent forces, to ensure that the purity of light never fell prey to the engulfing darkness. Mysterious, ethereal, and unwavering, Nethos is the embodiment of a spectral guardian. If you're seeking a hero who symbolizes a unique fusion of grace, indomitable will, and the mastery of shadows, then he is the ideal choice. Here's why you should pick him as your hero. Guardian of 2 realms. His unique existence, intertwined with both the material and the shadow plane, ensures you command a character whose perspective and understanding is unlike any other. Navigating 2 realms instills in Nethos an unparalleled wisdom and insight, allowing you to approach challenges in ways others cannot fathom. Master of Shadows. As a guardian born from the mystical merging of moonlight and shadows, he offers you the chance to master the art of stealth and precise archery. His keen perception and lethal precision make him an indomitable force. If you are intrigued by a playstyle that combines cunning stealth with tactical combat, Nethos has much to offer. Enigmatic lore. His backstory, shrouded in mystery and entwined with the essence of 2 planes, makes for a character rich in lore and potential discoveries. As you delve deeper into his past, his motives and the source of his unique powers become clearer, intensifying your immersion in your role-playing journey. Choosing him as your hero signifies embracing a path of stealth, justice, and protection. It offers the chance to become a beacon in the darkest of nights, standing unyielding in the face of malevolence, shaping your narrative through a blend of courage, strategy, and unrelenting tenacity. If you're prepared to walk the thin line between the material and the shadow plane, then the mantle of Nethos Nightwhisper awaits. Draw your bow, blend into the shadows, and let your hero's tale be etched into the annals of time.